SHOT Show 2023 in Las Vegas, and we are at the HCI and engineering booth with Greg. Greg, I'm going to shake you left hands here because we're kind of winging it, kind of Boy Scout-like, right? Yeah. Okay, good deal. Let's, obviously we just met. We didn't set up an interview before this, so this is very cold. And I like cold interviews because they become warm after a while.
Right.
So HCI Engineering, what do you do? Just to a person who, like me, walked up like, what are you guys doing here? What is it that you do?
This is our first year at the SHOT Show. We just acquired the exclusive national distributorship for this rubber here, backstop rubber, granulated backstop rubber. And
this is the material that you would ship out to a customer or a client.
Exactly. How we got into this is about 34 years ago, we started a company, Advanced Environmental, and we ran that for about 9 years. And what that did was hazardous waste transportation, disposal, emergency response, and general contractor, dealing with environmental projects. Sold that, and then in 1999-2000 we started up HCI, doing the same type of services. And then the firing ranges became a pretty big deal in the state of California, and so we started doing the firing ranges, cleaning the firing ranges, maintenance.
And by firing ranges, you're talking about gun ranges, firearms ranges.
Exactly. Exactly. And
so you were cleaning those. You were cleaning up the waste from those, like as an example, the copper, the lead,
the shot.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go into a range and it's filled with this type of rubber. This is the backstop they shoot into, so the bullets don't ricochet and doesn't cause a problem, doesn't cause a fire. And so we'll go and we'll separate the lead that drops down, and we'll separate out the rubber, the granulated rubber that gets hit all the time by bullets, and we'll clean that all out, and then we'll reload it with this type of rubber.
Right.
And we take the lead out and we recycle the lead.
Right. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, the process, once this is in place, say at a range.
Yes.
And it's been used for, do you know what the typical life expectancy is of an application of these granules?
Depends on how much traffic is going through there.
Right.
But it's, maybe once every year we'll go ahead and take out all the old rubber and put in a whole new backstop.
So and that's what I was kind of getting at, is it on average about an annual cleanup for a typical range?
Yeah, we do.
So when you go in and you do that cleanup, you remove all of the existing material, including the deposits. I'm using the words that I would use, but okay.
Good,
yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong on the lingo.
Yeah.
But so you clean up this material, including the deposits, lead, copper jacketing, whatever else is there. There's going to be probably some bits of burned powder and carbon.
We get target fines that push back into
paper
there.
pieces, yeah,
Exactly.
Components, probably even, depending on what they're using as targets, you could even have fabrics and God knows what. God forbid you stumble into some bone and blood, right?
Yeah, none of that yet.
Yeah. So, I got an imagination, brother, so I'm sorry. Yeah. So, when you clean that out and then you replace it with the new unblemished material, let's say, you remove that older material, do you recycle that as well?
We recycle the lead shot, or the bullets.
Right.
Recycle those. The rubber.
They're separated. That's what I'm getting at. They're separated.
We separate it.
Yeah.
So we have specialized equipment that we've created.
Right.
That will vacuum this up.
Right.
And it'll leave the lead on the ground because it's heavier.
Okay.
So we just
and that's at your facility, right?
No, we do it at the ranges.
Oh, you do it at the range?
We set it up at the ranges.
Well, I guess you'd probably have to, especially in a state like California, because they almost don't want you removing that material. You'd probably have to have a hazmat team to remove it.
It's a hazardous waste.
Right.
We do hazmat, so that's how we kind of got into it.
So you have a specialty in that. That's your backbone.
Range business is one of our divisions.
Okay.
Exactly.
Outstanding. So you do the separation at the facility, and then at some point you're going to still have some of this material that is a bit tainted, I would think.
Right.
So then do you remove that, and then is there a further separation to then recycle this material back into something?
If it's bigger like this,
yeah.
We'll leave this.
Okay.
If they want us to, it's less cost for the customer.
Right.
So if this stuff's still good, we'll leave it for them.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be completely like rendered down to original rubber and then rebuilt.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying to think of the word. Like, it doesn't have to be refined.
This comes from off-road tires.
Right.
So they're peeling this off the tires. The difference between ours and other tires is this doesn't have any steel in it. this doesn't have any
Still belting
any thread or
yeah.
anything in it. Where
Yeah.
our competition will have, it's dirty. Ours is clean like this. Every single thing they get from us is going to be clean like
And
this.
so what you're stripping off for your product is basically like you said, I think you said the tread.
It's the tread
so you're not
before
getting
you get down to the belts.
Right. Okay. Good.
Exactly.
Good. Cool.
Exactly.
So other than that, well, I don't want to get into too much
What you
detail.
were asking was, okay, so once we do the separation, so
Right.
the lead goes for recycling, the casings, they're usually collected in a drum, we'll take that for recycling.
Right.
The rubber that we pick up that's no good anymore, that goes in like a cubic yard box, and that'll be shipped off as hazardous waste to a disposal facility.
And then they
Because
dispose
it's lead contaminated.
And that's what I was kind of getting at.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So since that's lead contaminated, I don't think that there's any way for them to render that out where now you have clean rubber that you could then recycle
No,
back
because
into
it's so
something else.
pulverized it wouldn't be any
Okay.
good for anything.
Okay.
So it goes to landfill.
So it sounds like it's the most efficient method to try to recycle that location, not recycle it, but to clean up that location and to keep them still running with whatever they already have
Yeah.
without having to bring in new material and completely switch it out.
Until it gets to a point where they say, hey, take it all out. Because it'll
Right.
get so bad that it's just take it all out.
And that could happen.
It could happen. It happens. Yeah. Like we'll go out and do a thorough cleaning once a year, and then we'll add maybe a quarter of it back of what we took out, and so they'll keep 3/4 of what they have. But there's times where after 2, 3, 5 years, they will say, hey, get rid of it and bring in.
Completely remove everything
Exactly.
after you've done that cleaning cycle at the location.
Right.
Remove everything and switch it out with brand new.
Exactly.
Interesting. And are you nationwide?
We distribute the rubber nationwide. Our cleaning services are basically California.
Okay.
Because we're located in California.
Right. Okay, very good. Outstanding. What's a typical application? Say you had what's the average size range that you might have as a client as far as square footage?
Square footage.
If you know, and if you don't, that's
Yeah, I would say probably maybe 20,000 square foot.
okay.
Somewhere in that range. There's bigger, there's smaller. Sometimes there's just one lane ranges.
Right.
And there's 10 lane ranges. It just depends on.
And you could have active ranges where they intend to be able to move around instead of being behind a barricade.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, depending on what kind of training they've got going on there. And say, just a rough estimate, as using that average of about 20,000 square feet, what would it cost you for a range master or an owner of a range to have your product brought in and cycled? Just a ballpark number, if you're comfortable with that.
No, it's not that I'm that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's just we have different phases that we do. So some of them have to do with the HVAC, where we'll change out the filters when the HVAC, because that's collecting the lead dust all the time, which is a real big expense for the customer.
Right, and you do that service
We
too?
do that also,
okay.
yeah. And then we dispose of those and we bring in new ones, and so it just depends on it depends on how big their system is, and it's a
And
tough
all the
number
little
to-
details, like
yeah.
a typical business, all the little details that are
Exactly,
involved.
it's a tough number to come up with.
No
Yeah,
worries,
it's not-
but I'm sure you're good at coming up with that.
We do.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you,
thank
and
you very much.
and good luck with the business. Are you pretty busy this
Very busy.
this last year and coming into
It slowed
2023?
down a little bit during COVID, but now it's all picking back up because they weren't using the ranges. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it's
If
all-
anything, it was usually outdoor. But do you also service outdoor ranges?
we do outdoor ranges, we'll do dirt berms, we've got
Yeah.
other equipment to clean those up as well.
Well, so now some of the more important questions. Do you have a favorite adult beverage?
Jameson.
Jameson? Okay, there you go.
Yep,
There you go.
the cheap stuff.
Yeah. And since you deal with hazmat, do you enjoy cigars, pipes, or any?
Cigars, absolutely.
Yeah. What's your favorite style?
Favorite style?
Style or wrapper,
Wrap.
or point of origin, whatever your favorite would be.
I would say probably Nicaragua,
Yeah.
but we were just at a dinner. It was a bourbon distillery in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And the guy was rolling cigars, Atomic Cigars is the name of his company.
Yeah.
He was hand rolling it on site. It was the best cigar I've had ever, I think. It was fresh and just delicious.
Yeah, the ones right off the table.
Oh, it was awesome.
I think there's a thing about, well, they need to be aged, and that's okay. But I think they age them in the drying barns anyhow.
I'm
So
telling you, it was the best cigar I had.
yeah. You like natural wrapper, Maduro, Escudo? Do you have a particular type of wrapper you like?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah.
So Atomic, huh? Have to look him up. Do you know
Look
if he's
them up.
local?
They're in Tennessee.
He's in Tennessee?
Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
really
good. Okay,
Yeah.
outstanding. Salute. You guys have a good trip back home. Okay?
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
All right.